Hello, welcome to or back to my channel. My name is Angel. Thank you for stopping, clicking and watching. Okay, so this video is about poking fun at myself. If you've seen my latest video on my channel, I recently did a hashtag shopping for tarot, which was a VR to Lady Knight of Avalon. And in that video, I initially showed a deck that I'd recently bought, which was called the Cosmic CUNT Tarot, which I hadn't opened yet. And then I continued to talk about the fact that I didn't like decks that had renamed the suits. Now, after filming that video, I obviously opened the Cosmic CUNT deck. And if you've seen that deck or you own that deck, you'll know that those suits have all been renamed. Which kind of made me giggle a bit, because I thought, you know, there's me harping on about the fact that I don't like decks with renamed suits, and I've just recently purchased one, which I thought was quite interesting, which kind of, you know, prompted me to go through my collection and take a closer look at my decks. And lo and behold, I come upon the fact that I actually own quite a few decks that have renamed suits. So, you know, there's me saying, I don't like decks with renamed suits, but also me saying, look at my decks with renamed suits. So that's what we're doing today. I'm going to show you a few of the, decks I've got. So this is just poking a bit of fun at myself. Yeah. So let's jump straight in. Let's do this. Okay, so I'm going to start with the three decks that, you know, that prompted this. I don't like decks with renamed suits. And that was the Tarot of the She, the Chrysalis Tarot, and what's this one called? Oh, I know this. Forest of Enchantment Tarot, I believe. So I've explained about the Tarot of the She before. I cut the borders off and I cut the titles off because the titles tripped me up every single time. It was Dreamers, Warriors, possibly Maker and something else. And every time I popped a few cards out, I was thinking, wait, was Maker a sword or was that a pentacle? And it just took me out of the reading. So I took off the edges, as said, and I put the elemental symbols on, and also the numbers, or the cool name, as it were, or the the letter for the cool is what I'm trying to say. So that worked for me. That solved that one. Then we move on to the Chrysalis Tarot. This is the same again. All suits have been renamed. Let's see if I can do this. So we've got the stones, which, you know, makes sense. Pentacles, okay. The scrolls, a bit unsure. The spirals, I mean, this, you know, obviously this is showing me it's, yeah, okay, this is a wand, I can go with that. And then we even have the mirrors. But each time I did a reading with this deck, it was the same again. It took me out of the reading because it took those few moments to think, wait, mirrors, what was mirrors? You know, and this, I don't particularly find this deck very, very Rider-Waite-Smith. So that didn't help either. So yeah, so I haven't solved the problem with that one as yet, although I'm, you know, contemplating or thinking about putting the numbers and the elemental symbols on. And then finally we've got the Forest of Enchantment Tarot. Even the majors have been renamed here. We've got the boons, which I believe are the pentacles, the challenges, which I believe are the swords, the spells, which I believe are, what's it called, the wands, and the visions, which are the cups, but don't quote me on that. And it's the same again. I kind of, you know, I kind of felt that this is a bit more Rider-Waite-Smith, this deck. However, I still felt that it took me out of the reading for that, you know, few moments to kind of piece together what a spell was. So I'm also thinking about writing numbers and the elemental symbols on these as well. So that was a long story, but that was 3 decks that kind of sparked or planted the seed that I'm not a big fan of decks that rename their suits. So, with that in mind, one would think that I would not have so many decks in my collection that have renamed suits. But you would be surprised. And I'm going to show you a couple of those right now. Okay, so we're hopping in first with the Japaridze Tarot, I want to say it's called. Yeah, this is a beautiful deck. But you'll see we've got winds, which is obviously air. Tides, obviously, which is water. Sorry, just as a sideline, does this not look like Arnold Schwarzenegger out of Total Recall? Or is it just me? Sorry, I had to say that. Gardens, which is obviously pentacles, and fire, which, you know, is obviously wands. So, you know, it's still a rename, but it works. It works for me. It makes sense. But it's still a renamed suit deck, as it were. One down, several to go. Then I suddenly remembered that I own the Muse Tarot. And yeah, and I suddenly remembered that, you know, this deck is also renamed. The suits are also renamed. So we have emotions, which are cups. Let's see if we can find a few more. Bear with me, voices, which are swords. Let's look here. Inspiration, which is wands. And did I say voices? I think I've said, have I said voices? No, inspiration. No, wait. Oh, no, wait. No, wait. Yeah, inspiration is wands. Comianu angel. Materials, which is pentacles. Oh, I'm making a real hash of this, aren't I? I'm making a real hash of this. That's all of them, isn't it? That is all of them. Yeah, there we go. Emotions, cups, inspiration, wands, voices, swords, and materials. Pentacles. But it still works, which makes me think, and I wouldn't particularly say this is, you know, really, really Rider-Waite-Smith. I mean, it you know, obviously it is in, well, I don't know. Would you say this is Rider-Waite-Smith? I would say this kind of, you know, can go away from Rider-Waite-Smith. I suppose generally it follows. Yeah, okay, maybe generally it follows. So I wonder if that's the reason. You know, decks that hold their what's the word? Hold their images to the Rider-Waite-Smith are easier to, you know, to recognise than, for instance, the Chrysalis Tarot, which doesn't. Then we're moving on to the Tarot of Light. Now this one, in my defence, I use more as an oracle than a tarot. This is Hearts, which I believe is cups. Then we've got Angels, which I believe is air. Stars, which I believe is wands. And Heart, which I believe is cups. Have I said that correctly? I hope so. Fingers crossed. No, I'm missing a suit. La la la. You can mingle if you've got anybody, you know, close by. Mingle for a wee second while I, you know, kind of work this out. I'm missing a suit, but I can't think what the suit is. If you're shouting at the screen, I understand, because I'd be shouting at the screen too. Oh, and trees, there you go. Cool, that took a bit of a long time to get to a tree card, didn't it? Pentacles, obviously. But it's the same again. This works for me for some reason. But obviously this could be because I use it more as an oracle, and I always use the guidebook with these cards. I don't tend to read them intuitively. I tend to always get the message from the guidebook because I think the guidebook is really good in this deck. Okay, let's move along, and we're going to move along to the Erotica Tarot. That's this deck. Now, if you've got this deck, you'll know that it's quite pippish. So we've got candles, which are the wands. The shells, which are the cups. The feathers, which are the swords. And let's have a look here what I can show you. I don't want to show you any, you know, dodgy. Oh, here we go. We'll go with the roses, which are the pentacles, obviously. So yeah, and that works for me as well. So, you know, I'm clearly talking gibberish. This is what I mean about the pips, obviously, in some of the cards. Yeah, let's move on to the next one. The next one I've got to show you is the Antique AnatomyTarot. Here we've got the coins, which works. Obviously, it's quite like pentacles. The rods, yeah, quite like the wands. What else we got here? Let's see. Elixirs. That's the cups. You know, that's a little bit of a leap, I feel. And then we've even got what we're missing. Oh, the tower. I like the tower card. Blades, which is very like daggers or swords. So that works for me. But the same again, they've been renamed, and I do own this deck. So, you know, what can I say? What can I say? There is no excuse. This one is the one I have recently bought. This is the Cosmic CUNT Tarot. So, yeah, what can I say? I'm hanging my head in shame, I promise you. Okay, so this is the discs for pentacles, ray guns for swords, specimens for cups, and then we have probes for wands. So that's that one. My list goes on. I'm sure you're very familiar with this deck. This is the Tarot of Vampires. Let's do this. Oh, look, the tower card. Do like me a good tower card. So we've got the skulls, which are the pentacles. Knives, which is obviously very much like the swords or the daggers. Scepters, which is the wand suit. And then we even have, let's have a look here, the grails, or grails, which is the cups, obviously. It works for me. And there's me complaining about, you know, decks with renamed suits. Oh, what can I say? There's just no excuse. I've already shown this. This is a Stoller Tarot. We've got spoons, balloons. Let's look here. Brooms. And then we even have, let's look here. What we're missing? Buckets, possibly. So, cups, swords, pentacles, and wands. And it works perfectly for me. What can I say? What can I say? As I mentioned, I'm hanging my head in shame. Then we've got a couple of honourable mentions. The Gentle Tarot. Yeah, this, let's have a look here. We've got the Thunder suit instead of swords. And then we even have, let's have a look here. We even have stones instead of pentacles. So that's an honourable mention, I feel. Oh, I'm hanging my head in shame, I promise you. Then we've got the Zombie Tarot, which the Pentacle suit has been renamed as the Hazards. We've even got my favourite deck, which is the Rainbow Moon Tarot. The Pentacles has been renamed as Crystals. The Moonchild, no, not the Moonchild, sorry, the Starchild Tarot, also an honourable mention. Let's have a look here. The Pentacles are crystals. I know, what can I say? And finally, last but not least, we have the Macabre Tarot, also by Samantha West. This has bones and crystals. I mean, you know, what can I say? There's just no excuse. I'm daggers, but, you know, that's kind of the sort anyway. So what can I say? Nothing really. I've got no excuse. You know, I'm clearly speaking gobbledygook. So yeah, what say you? You know, what do you feel, you know, is not your aesthetic or is not the type of deck you generally go for? But then when you look through your collection, you think, oh, wait a second. Oh, I do have a deck like that. Oh, I didn't think that was my aesthetic. Or I didn't think that was, you know, my kind of deck. Do you have any of those in your collection? Or is it just me, you know, talking nonsense? I'm hoping it's not just me. Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Have a lovely morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. And I really hope to see you next time. Toodaloo!